So I'm in leadership role in our business Illuminise. We specialize in solving complex e-commerce challenges, and we specialize to Magento and commerce. But the main part of the story is how we work around and with people. So today I'm going to share how we work very closely with our clients to solve these challenges, and as well the real business results we get and breakthroughs we get through working closely together. There are two elements I would like to share before I go into the talk. And we do something very unusual, I think. We work directly with our developers work directly with our clients. We don't have any managers in our team. So that means that as clients and developers are discussing technical challenges directly on the Zoom calls, there is a total free flow of information. There is no information get lost, and the way decisions are made are very much easier. That's the first thing. The second thing is, although examples I'm going to share being a development agency might seem technical, as I mentioned, the problems are mainly how we work together. What is the trust in the team? Are we having conversations? Are we rushing solutions? So it's really around how we work together as teams and how much trust there is. So in the talk, I'll take us on the journey from complexity to clarity. And I'll open with a real client story, with a technical challenge that was more than technical challenge. Then we'll discover together, we'll do a little poll and discover together, what do we do when things are tough? When we are in front of the problem, we don't know what to do about. And then we'll share in other examples how we move through uncertainty, working together closely with our clients. And by the end of the talk, there will be one simple, actionable step, courageous to take this to your business and start working and solving your business challenges. So first, client story, project rescue we call it. We have a client coming to us with a website built by another agency, and we are used to seeing many problems, technical problems, and we know how to do that. But this problem was more challenging. We found that the platform was years old, very outdated, and there was more than 100 third-party solutions connected to the project, and they were all outdated. And the time and cost to upgrade all of that was huge. So very early in the relationship with client, we knew the trust was already broken working with a previous agency, not that successfully. We knew that costs are high and that we need to share this. We didn't know the way forward, and we were really worried what might happen when we get into this conversation. So I'll pause this story here, and we'll come back to later how we solved it together. Now I would like to invite you to go with me through your stories, and as I share this, imagine yourself and the difficulty you might have, either platform or people, and what do we do when things get tough? And I know this really well now, running business 20 years. So what do we do when things get tough? From my personal experience and working with clients and developers, we can see when things get tough, we might push for a solution and force solutions and rush through just to show some progress. In some other cases, we can, it's a little bit slow, go into over-analyzing problem and going into lots of details and trying to understand everything 100% before we can move forward and take the first step, not wanting to make a mistake. In other cases, I don't know why is this so slow. Yeah, in other cases, we avoid looking at the problem because it's so big and scary, and we delay engagement, being busy with other things where we can show progress, and we can as well maybe pass it to someone else. There are other cases and scenarios, but this is what we find usual. I hope you're recognizing how you find difficulty, and I would like to invite you to join me in the poll and select one of these options. Like, if you imagine something that maybe keeps you up at night, you really don't know what to do. It can be a difficult conversation. It can be a difficult technical problem. I'm really curious to see which one of these are resonating. And of course, there is other if. Okay, so far it's push for resolution. I mean, I understand that in the audience, most of us are leaders and we really want to show the progress and show some results. Okay, I think I'll pause it here. So we are all recognizing at least this one, push for resolution. And you can see in my examples, if we push for resolution, that would take us totally in the not such a good place. I'll skip a second one. And then, yes, from looking at these, we know that these ways will not help us solve complex challenges. And now I want to share a quote by Jennifer Garvey-Berger. She's leadership and complexity coach and author. There will be a reference later, a book she wrote on complexity genius. And this is what she found researching and working with many senior leaders in complexity. Leadership is not about bringing solutions. It's about creating conditions for solutions to emerge. And what does this mean, creating the conditions for solutions to emerge? We are going to discover through my other stories. So to go back to Project Rescue, where we had, if you remember, more than 100 third-party solutions that would take possibly 500 hours of work to do, and there as well subscription costs for all these modules, which were in the range £18,000. So this is like we worked with a client for 2-3 weeks, and we have these news. So we were able to shift to a totally different outcome. We were able to reduce this to only 50 modules with less time, 200 hours, and less yearly maintenance subscription cost. And how did we do that? We opened honest conversation with clients. We simply shared, this is the difficulty we are finding. We know this is not the way through, and then what we can do together. In number of conversations, we organize a small incremental discoveries where each informed the next step. And over a period of 6 months, we were able to have a stable platform, most of the work done, and was the most important. The other work, critical work, was continuing. We didn't pause further developments of the platform. And what happened here? We just asked client a simple question, and you'll see this in every example. Do you really need all these modules? Why do we have all these modules? And clients said that they thought it's a good idea at the time to buy all these third-party functionalities, have a rich functionalities on the website, and the agency never made them aware about long-term complexities and all the costs. They were totally open to work with us and try how we can reduce the time and the cost. And obviously the first step was let's just disable functionalities we don't need. After that, we had to quickly fix technical issues, and then we had to upgrade some of the modules only that were necessary. And as we are now working with the client and understanding the platform as well, we can make more informed decisions. We realized that many of the modules that were purchased were having very rich functionalities that are totally not needed on the project, that we can replace the whole third-party solution with just a few lines of code. And we work with client together through all these decisions to come up with a plan how incrementally to improve and have a stable system that happened over a period of 6 months. So for me in this story, what's the most important? We were courageous to go in the conversation. There was lots of openness and honesty, and we made this decision together because we didn't know what client needs and what we can do, but we brought our ideas, and then we got clients to guide us all together working towards these solutions. So this really helped with building the trust, and client could see we have a totally different way of working than previous agency. We really care, and we want to do the right thing and not just to do work for sake of doing the work. So this is an example how we solved the maintenance issue on one project. And now another project is more how we bring new features when they turn out to be very complicated. And this story I call moving offline to online. I hope this is not too fast. There is lots of information to share. I hope you're flowing with me in the story. So now we work with this client for some time, and there is already trust and good relationship. We are making progress, and big focus on the project is a big UK manufacturer of locks. Was to move lots of business and sales from offline to online, which we're able to do from 20% online sales when we joined a few years to 60%. Now, client is coming up with some other valuable ideas, what else we can move to online. And there is a really big business opportunity around there, quite a complex lock system that doesn't exist out of the box in default in the e-commerce platforms. It requires quite a lot of different configurations. It's basically buying many locks that can all be opened by one key, like in the hotel. So clients recognize significance of this high-value product being available online, and they invested some time to create a detailed spec, to create designs and mobile and desktop designs, and they brought to us very excited, like, can we do this? So what we realized is we got a fully custom specification that's quite complex, and it's going to take us 12 months to develop and more than 1,000 hours of work. And we knew, again, this was not viable. And that was not the path. What happened is instead, we were able to develop a fully working prototype only in 3 months and within 250 hours of work. And again, in this scenario, we opened the conversation and then we shared, like, can we look into a different way forward? And we ran a number of simplification trials. And just within 1 month, through different trialing, we were able to come up with this fully working prototype 3 months later. And again, the question we ask is, do we really need to follow the full spec? So client is saying, no, I thought it's a good idea to help you with development, but no, just do whatever you feel might be a better solution. So what happened, we remember existing third-party solution we used 10 years before for similar configurable complex functionality. We installed it on the project, and it was working solution. It was not working the same way as client wanted, but it was really fulfilling what they wanted. But there was another problem. So you can see, like, as we do something, another problem happens, and then we work through these steps one at a time. So another problem is having this rich functionality now in the project. The page load was very slow. The pages were not loading on product pages fast enough. So we then said, okay, we have to see, can we improve performance before we can look into anything else? And we were able to improve the speed of the page. And then after that, we continued to look into further optimizations on desktop and mobile. And we got a final solution in a very short time. But this is not just about saving time and money. It's about being competitive on the market, having competitive advantage. Our client discovered that at the same time this gone live, their competitor pushed the product like this live. It was not this rich in functionalities, so this solution was much better, and it helped them not to lose part of the market. And what's most interesting, this product being so valuable and not even promoted is generating a number of orders a day. And when I ask clients, so why you're not promoting it? They said, oh, we don't have enough locksmiths to create these locks, and we are scared to promote it. So that will be the next step for the business. So you can see how we together work through a number of steps to give us the final solution. This is miles better than initial solutions for many reasons. Now, the third and last example is, so we had the maintenance, we had development, and now we work with a large international manufacturer with many offices and websites and stores across the Europe, UK, and the US. They decided to modernize their e-commerce platform a few years ago, and they still had a number of legacy websites running for European and UK stores. So they engaged us to migrate websites from these old platforms to the new modern platform. And we were mainly focusing on the UK store. So what's happening here? The problem with the UK development is now we are doing a specification, talking to client for 6 months. It's quite a complex project. And the problems are starting to happen as the coordination is required between the UK and the US office. So it was not about technology, it's about how people work together. And there were different priorities, and the US office couldn't find time to devote to approvals of this project. So basically, we had a stalled project and nothing was moving forward. At the same time, all the legacy websites are running very high yearly costs for hosting and security, and at the same time, the big initial investment basically doesn't prove any value. So it's a very tough place to be when you invest lots of money, you want to move forward, and things are just not moving forward. So what happened here, we were able to turn this into an instant progress with a very small one-off development cost and prove the value of initial investment. And how this happened, again, through conversation, almost accidental conversation. We visited a client just 2 weeks ago. We were going to an e-commerce event in Glasgow. And as we were with them and looking into this whole project, and nothing could have been done there, we touched base on these websites that are now legacy websites, and they had a different agency maintaining them. And we wanted to talk about, well, shall we take maintenance of them so you have only one development agency? And as we were with them initially, not having a full visibility of everything, and now much more understanding the whole business, we asked, just in one conversation, less than 1 hour, one question that unlocked everything. The focus was on the UK. But we ask, can we migrate all the other legacy websites, forget about UK for now, to this modern platform? Well, client believed that they cannot do that because those websites are not connected to the modern systems they're using, and we reassured them that for us it's not a problem to do this, simply export and import data. And in just this one conversation, we moved everything forward, and now 2 weeks down the line, we are going to start to implement this already and start saving time and cost for the client. So these are examples where you can see complex challenges when what we can see in each of them, these are all the problems we haven't seen before. We didn't know what to do, and we were honest and open to share that with clients. What else we can see? That there are many interconnected parts. There are different people, offices, different platforms and systems used. You simply don't know where to start. And then there is a big uncertainty how to move forward and lots of fear. And this is when we go to this push way forward or avoid and other things. And what's interesting, and now this is what's different in this approach, these solutions, I hope you could notice, all emerged through conversations and through taking step after step. And in our work, we actually follow a framework developed by MIT researchers. It's called Theory U. It's in the shape of the U, and at the bottom is a place of difficulty. And then again, if we go back to the Jennifer Garvey quote, leaders in complexities, their role is to create circumstances for solutions to emerge. This is what we've been doing all along. We come together with team and clients, we start inquiring, we start asking questions, we start listening, and we let go of what we know that works. We have to be open for new solutions to emerge. And in this bottom of the U, as they call it, presencing, we are really in the conversation with open mind and very curious what might happen, with open heart and connected to everything, and open will, and courageous to ask challenging questions and challenge assumptions. So as we are together and everyone is sharing information and slowly first steps start being visible and solutions starting to emerge, we then let new solutions come, and then from there we have another step, and then we have eventually crystallized final solution. So what I want to highlight here, and I find this really important for me, when we are together, like if you think about puzzle, if we compare this with a puzzle, when you're creating a puzzle, you need only a certain number of pieces to see the full picture. You don't need to have all pieces. And what we are doing here, when we are together in this conversation, we are connecting all these pieces of puzzles, and we are all carrying with us part of solution. And this is why we need to work together and not in isolation, clients and us, but together. And of course, a little quick AI story. We use this not only to solve complex challenges, we use to bring and create new business opportunities. Very quickly, as you know, everyone is experimenting with AI, and we had a number of conversations with clients where they're all doing something, creating very exciting export-import solutions or Christmas campaigns, and all is done totally by AI, and it's saving them lots of time. But we realized they're doing it in isolation and in separation. They're doing their own thing in their world. And the idea that came is like, what if we come together and we inspire one another and we co-create solutions together? Is this going to go? Yes, because once when we are together and one idea build another idea, there is much more richer solutions going to happen. And we simply ask clients, do you want to come and join our illuminise AI collab so we can do all this together and discover many more opportunities that we can all pursue. And that happened just over 1 week. And I can ask you the same. Fancy joining our AI collab to co-create with AI and the future. So to finish, the secret sauce I would like to point here is we all work in partnership. We are all one team, us and client, working around the problem. There is trust we spoke about today, and there is courage to ask and challenge and say, no, we see differently, or this might be more needed than that, being open and honest. There is as well inspiration because we all build ideas working together. And finally, the most importantly, there are breakthrough results because none of these solutions was possible to see at the beginning of the story. So working together, we create these exponential impact and big breakthrough results. And I would like to ask you, for this one step I promised at the beginning, if you think about the problem you might have, what one conversation could unlock your greatest breakthrough? Because in this place of challenge, it's the biggest breakthrough, if we only dare to go there. If you are interested in any of these different frameworks or complexity stories, there are some references here. And as well, that's about it. If you fancy joining our AI collab and getting the references, you can scan the QR code. And I'm really curious, my worry was all along, all these events are all about technology. This was a very human topic. Did it touch anything in you? Did it shift anything in you? And did you have any insights as you were listening to the talk? That would be my curiosity.
Thanks.